Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Inside Us. Today, we have a special guest with us. His name is Aliou Graham. He's here to tell us his story of surviving the bullets and beating the odds. Welcome, Aliou, to Inside Us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of
Great to be
course, it's
here.
my pleasure. It's my pleasure. All right, Aliou, if you can, and if it won't be a problem, can you take us back to the night that the incident happened and tell us what really happened?
All right. That night, it was a Monday night on December 9th, 2013. Rain was falling before, and just as the rain subsided, we went out. I was following one of my friends to the bus stop, right? But three of us was walking, and I was ahead of them, walking ahead of them, because I had my final exam to come finish study for. And when we approached it, we were walking on the open lot, and just as I'm about to approach the alley area, two men came around from a carpentry shop, and they utter one phrase, "Yo, the door moving up." So I hold up my two hands there and turn sideways and tell him that I only have my phone on me, you can take it. And the two other guys that I was walking with, they stopped, and he put it and put it in my left pocket while he had the gun on me. He feel my left pocket, the phone was actually in my right pocket. And when he was coming over to the right pocket, I see where one of the guys them signal to the next one to run, and both of them run off. So he didn't bother go to my right pocket or anything. Just turn around, look at them, turn back around, look at me, shoot me, and then run after them and shoot them. And when I was there standing same way, my body was kind of like it was normal. I know I got shot, but I didn't sure I got shot. And I was standing there until my foot them started feeling weak. And I made myself go down on the ground. And there's a wall beside where I was. And I said, Father God, help me for crawl, go over near the wall, go lean up, because I feel that if I went to the wall and lean up, it would be better for me. If I'm bleeding, I wouldn't bleed out that fast.
So tell me
And
something. At this point, did the guys run off or something, or they were still there?
no, they
They
ran
ran
off.
off.
Yeah. Leaving me
Did
alone
you
on the
actually
ground.
think you would survive while you were standing there, while you were trying to crawl to the wall and, thinking that you didn't want to bleed out? You actually thought you were going to survive this?
To an extent. Because when I was there, when I finally got over to the wall there and crawl over to the wall, because my fingernails had in dirt up to my point in hospital. And I practically was trying to make calls out. And I think at one point, when I recognized that all of the calls, because I tried to call my mother, no phone, the call wasn't going through. I called my sister, the call wasn't going through. I called ambulance, not going through. I called the police station, not going through. And I'm like, this is it.
What could have happened that night? They don't it.
Yeah, because I didn't know what's going on, and I'm there, and funny enough, it's just right around the corner from my house. It happened, and I was there for 4 or 5 minutes. I got shot at 8:44, and I know the exact time.
How do you know the exact time? You were looking.
Um,
You were using your phone to call
no,
people, so you would have seen it.
when I got the shot, and the guys they move off, my phone was ringing in my pocket.
Who was
So
calling at that time?
one of my friend,
Oh,
my no,
you're now spouse.
So hold on. You didn't answer that call, the call in before you could have answered?
yeah,
Because, the fact that you had to be trying to call somebody. Because, the reason I asked you if you thought you were going to survive, you're going to be there standing. I just can't see how, you're standing and thinking about how you're going to get somebody to help, without gunshot wound inside of you, or a gunshot inside of you. How do you do that?
You see, one thing, I am Christ-centered, and I believed that even then I would have gone through this situation, because if God want me to die, I don't see myself dying that way. And I mean, like, I was there, and when I crawled over there, I was, and all the cars are going out, and I see people start coming down now, and
No, but hold on before you go that far. Did you actually answer the call?
Which call? When she was calling?
Yeah, did you actually get to answer that call? Or
No, because at that point the man had the gun on me.
Oh, okay. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and when I was calling out for the police, ambulance, everybody, and thing, nobody answered anything. And up to 4 or 5 minutes later, I started seeing a chorus of people coming down, and I started. Then I hear them say, me hear them call the one that died. I hear they call his name and say, see me, I know him, and somebody say, no man, three other body must the boat because a tree shot me ear fire. I think so the guys then start walking down the pathway, and I started shining my phone light. And two other guys them that were there, they came down, walk up near, and them say, oh, the Maga Indian boy, man, drive the car, come down here, so drive the car, come down here, so. And them lift me up and put me in the car and head out with me, and they went on the way out of the pathway, they recognized that the car didn't have enough gas, and they were wondering if it could take them to Spanish Town with me and to come back to Pomor here. And they were like, okay, let's bring him to the police station because the police station is just across the road from where I'm at, from my scheme. And
hoping that the police would take you there.
Yeah. So as they said, the police, based on the facts that the police have a siren and everything, they can drive past and bring me there. And so he brought me to the police station, and that was the worst thing ever because that police officer, I mean, like they treated me more like a person would treat a dead dog on the road. And the fact that when I was there and they practically tell the man to take me out of the car and then take me out of the car, the place was wet. You see, because rain was falling earlier on. Rain was falling from way in the afternoon. And it stopped and we head out. And when I went there and then take me out of the car, they put me down in the water on the ground in the police yard. And they were talking about they don't want me to come in their car and not save them vehicle and think like it's not my taxpayer money help to buy the car.
But you know, me just say that to you. Me just say that to you. Say your money buy that vehicle.
But you can just imagine, I mean, it's a human being. The person has a gunshot wound. You should be thinking about trying to stop them from dying in that moment. You have time to think about Nancy up here?
Yeah.
Yo, man, no.
They were there with me and they have me there on the ground for 5 to 10 minutes before they decided that I could have died there. But the funny thing about it, I guess one thing where I didn't die there and I practically died in surgery instead of there was the fact that I was bleeding internally and I wasn't bleeding out. Because if I was bleeding out, I would have passed on from
You would have bled out to how long you were there. I mean, you were there 5 minutes before people found you, and then they brought you to the police station, and then they did a delay instead of rushing you to the hospital. You would have bled out.
And at that point, I sit on the Portmore Municipal Council in Mona with Andre Hilton, and I Read for Life project, and I sit over here on the Portmore Youth Council also. And funny enough, I was like, what's the sense, you know? Because if I am a figure practically in Portmore here, because I even sit on the board in my scheme, as I started a team, you know, and I sit on the board over in my scheme here, and also, and when I tell them say they need to when they practically put me in the car because a female officer was there and she brought some newspapers to put in the car, and she tell them say put me in the car or remember to the hospital and thing, and they were resistant because all they care about was their car not being nasty, you know, and they were like, okay, after them put me in the car there and the car was driving out of the police station, they were like, every time the police road is very rocky, and I tell them that if they can avoid the potholes on the way to Spanish Town, it would be really appreciated. That was like, this has cheap, me never say anything. Because maybe if me never say nothing, them would driving all of them to the Spanish Town Hospital, you know, and up to that point.
You know, so we're disgusting, and we can't even trust the people who are supposed to protect and serve.
And that is the reason why they brought him to the police station, because that would have been the safest place to go at the time. Oh boy.
And they keep on asking me, how much shot you get? I tell them, say, one. And them say, one shot you get a day, so. And I'm like, seriously?
What do you mean? What do you mean? So one shot can't kill people? What do you mean? No, sir.
Yeah.
A joke, please.
That was one of the utterance from one of the police officers now. And he practically, when they brought me to Spanish Town Hospital now, and they bring me in, they put me on a stretcher and they draw me inside. And then a few minutes later, my friend that got the shot, the one that died, they brought him in. 5 different persons holding him. Each time limbs them at all. And they bring him in and put him on the floor. Then the doctor said him to put him on a stretcher, and they bring the stretcher and push it up beside me. I hold on to his hand and I felt a pulse in his hand, but they say it wasn't a pulse. It was actually his body going away. And the doctor saw him, then they draw the white sheet over him. And my mother was there and everything. And then they brought me up, pushed me off and said they are going to bring me to surgery. They told me before I did the surgery that if I do the surgery, I'm going to die. And if I don't do the surgery, I'm still going to die. And they give me
What?
2 people.
Hold on. Wait a second ago. Them say if you do the surgery, you are going to die.
Yes.
And if you don't do the surgery, you're going to die.
Right. And I tell them to do this surgery.
Remind us, where was the bullet? Where exactly did you get shot?
Yeah, I got shot here in my chest, and it went across over the heart line, and spin go across the right side, past the spine on the right, shaking the spine to the right, because that was still pump up. Then it go to the right side, travel downwards, tearing up the tissues, going straight down, then it break the 12th rib.
So is it that it was one of those bullets that they say move when you get shot, like the copper shot, like it move inside your body?
Yeah, they were saying that it's copper shot, but I don't think it's copper shot because it was copper shot, it was poison in my body.
Oh, yeah, especially with how long you were there.
Yeah, if it was copper shot, it was poison in my body. I don't believe it's copper shot. But it traveled in my body and tear up shape.
You can just imagine them are going to operate on a dead man because them are tell you, say, you're going to dead if you do it and dead if you don't.
Yeah, and they give me the document to sign. I know that it's signed, but I don't really show whose signature on it because I was in too much pain to
sign it.
To write my official signature.
Yeah.
I just know I write a signature on both of them, and they brought me to the X-ray area and put me on that silver table. And trust me, that did cold behind means. And then
so hold on, Aliou. When them tell you say if them do the surgery, you're going dead, and if you're not dead, what go through your mind at this point? Like, what is going through your mind?
I tell her.
I tell your parents bye, right?
No. I tell them to do the surgery because God is with me. Amen. And they pushed me off and do the X-ray, and then they brought me to the area there, the surgery area, and they started to string me up. And they tell me, say, I must go back away from 5. And when I reach 3, I don't remember anything until 2 days later when I wake up the Wednesday evening.
So basically, you were out for 2 days.
Yeah. And a doctor told me that they lost me in surgery until I started breathing back after 9-10 minutes.
Okay, so you were not breathing for how long?
9-10 minutes. But she said she didn't give up because of what I said.
Well, thank God for her. Oh my God. So tell us now, Aliou, what is happening with your body now? Because I mean, after all that you went through, what happened as a result of you getting shot, and what's happening to your body now?
All right. They told me that I would be wheelchair bounded. And that's one thing that played on my mental for quite a while. Because they told me I have a wheelchair bounded thing. I am feeling pain in my body from 2013 till now. The only difference is that back then, if breeze touched me, my body would like go in immense pain. So breeze couldn't touch me. At one point, I could have go outside or nothing at all. No fan could have touched me or anything. And I practically had to go through all of that pain in my body for months. And funny enough, I was in hospital, and when I was in hospital in Spanish Town, the stitches, I got infected, and my mother came to the hospital the night and recognized that there was an infection in the stitches because the urine had 4 different colors, and nurses didn't recognize it. And the doctor had to clear the ward.
You hold all the time in Spanish Town Hospital?
No, I moved from Spanish Town to Mona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the doctor had to open back the wound and clean it back right in the hospital. Just tell myself to just pinch your piece, because this can't take no long. And
what you mean? So you never get no anesthesia or nothing?
no, because it was an emergency. And they open back it and clean out by the area that is in there, clean out back everything that is infected in there, and then him just stitch it back.
Aliou, you talk like I don't know, them just put me back and them just clean it out and yo, me there I clench my fist and let me literally feel it. Tell me something. The doctor told you that you would be wheelchair bound, right? Are you still using a wheelchair?
No. I
Okay.
stopped using a wheelchair from 2016. Yeah, 2016. Because I trained myself and to use the walker. So I'm using walker from that point until now. But the one thing that don't change is the fact that I still have the immense pain inside my body and all over. So that's one thing that don't change. But still I'm using a walker right now. And because I said no more wheelchair. I decided.
You're on medication for the pain, or you just manage it on your own?
All right. They say that too much medication is in my body. They want to get sick. I don't have any cold, no fever, no flu, no nothing like that from them. Because my body has in too much medication. So they say the amount of medication in my body have to decrease for me to practically go back on some time of pain medication. And I think that I exhaust all pain medication. I don't know which pain medication I don't take, but I think that the worst one was morphine. When I take morphine, it gave me seizure. So it gave me seizure while I was in Mona. And when I took the morphine, because I was taking morphine for a few days, and when I officially got the seizure, they took me off, because the day before the seizure, I had eye fever, and they had to bring me in the morning and strip me naked. Imagine, who me boy, and then go strip me naked and put me in the bar there after 3 o'clock in the morning and sauce me down and think, right now.
That's what they do when somebody has a fever. So even if you bring a child to the hospital, that's what they do to them.
Yeah, and them sauce me down. And me, right now, I have no shame, because I go through 27 doctor, nurse, and patient care where I see my whole body. So, all of this is something, all of them things, yeah. I'm free.
You're not easy at all. Tell us about school. How did you manage college while being ill? Because,
Right. I didn't stop university, none at all, from I got shot. I still continue.
You were in university when you got shot, yeah? Because you said something about you're studying.
Yeah. I was in School of Business at UTech. I practically was in my last year when I got shot. And when I got shot there, I was practically studying for my exam for the next day. And they didn't want me to come back to UTech for the next 2, 3 years, because they were like, okay, I got shot, I can't go do this, I can't go do that. And then for me, it was my dedication to say that, okay, I want to go back to university. I'm not going to stop, because if I stop anytime, I won't have the mental space to go back and continue the degree.
Right. Yeah.
So I tell them that I'm not stopping. And based on the facts that they do their research, and the doctor tell them, say, I have suffered severe memory loss and things. So I mean, like, they are saying that I won't be able to process information, and so it would be best that I take the 2 years off, try to get back up in near health wise and come back to university and continue my degree. But that wasn't my plan. I continued. I created history at the hospital because I was the first student at the hospital to practically take an examination in there on my hospital bed. And for UTech there now, I practically, they came down there with the final exam. When I did my final exam in hospital, I must say hats off to Miss Miller and the HR team at UTech there, because when they came to the hospital there to set up with the examination department for me to do my exam and thing, and they had to clear the ward and everything. And they came
You
there.
were in the hospital for how long?
8.5 months.
Okay.
And I did the first exam. I did strategic management first, and then I did business statistics second. And I was there in hospital, and I studied my hardest despite the over 20 odd medication and physiotherapy, shock therapy, and everything. I still have the marks from the shock therapy seeing me right now. They've not fade me, no wonder why, but yeah. I still have the burns and thing from the shock therapy. And
that sounds like you experienced additional trauma apart from the gunshot.
My hamstring. I also have an hamstring pulled on my right leg. My hamstring is pulled on my right leg from physiotherapy.
What? So yes. I thought they were supposed to be getting you better.
Funny enough.
But hold on, when you're administering your exams in the hospital, how did that go? Is it that, furthermore, how you get your notes?
I got my notes from, at that time, my lecturer, Miss Miller. She normally come to the hospital and visit me. I bring my assignments to me, and I did the assignments and she came and collected it. And we studied from there, and whatever I don't understand, she explained to me while I was in hospital there. And I had her number to could call her when I have anything wrong. Because I had a laptop and I had the book, the textbook and things. So I even have my cube cards that I made out and things. So meanwhile I'm in physiotherapy, even when I'm getting shock, I have my notes just lying back and just looking at and studying, and I just take it from there. And I practice in the hospital. They practically set up an area for me to study in the night.
I don't know what to say right now. What do you mean while you're getting shot, you study? Shock.
Yeah, man. Because I lie down flat, with a pillow. My head rests on a pillow, and them set up the shock machine, and I've made the Easton machine, and set up it 4 different parts and the 2 different legs, and them just shot me. So imagine 90 volts.
So in the earth.
Yeah, man.
So how you focus for study while them do that?
Just up in the center of my mind. The center of my mind say, yeah, this me I do and that me I do. So
them need to check your neck. You must have a fever, because that nothing can write about that, Aliou. But tell me something. I spoke to you a couple months ago when I saw you put up a status saying that you're readmitted to the hospital, I think it was, and you said that your body basically shut down. And I was asking you, what does that mean? And you said that the doctor was saying something about, if you want to walk again, you have to tell yourself you have to walk. You have to send shock signal from your brain. I mean, if you have to string up on a shock machine there or whatever. Like, tell us about that.
Yeah. The morning I was going to work, and I reached to the car, and the driver said to me, say, saying I look good, me now bring a guy work, And he said, go back in the house, and I turn back and I go back to my gate. And just after I take 2-3 steps, my body just stopped. And I just going down. My mother run and grab me before I reach on the ground. And I went to the Spanish hospital, and they were there, and they said that I did the blood test there. I did the blood test. I did the urine test. I did a scan, and they said that, okay, they must send me to my clinic and thing, because the test come back, so everything all right. So then I go to my clinic, them send me go to a neurologist, them send me to go to MRI, and that's a scan and x-ray, And after all of those, I think it came back that everything is functional, everything is good. And they told me that is my brain shut down. So I have to practically train my brain to keep my body moving. And I don't understand what they mean by that, but I'm gradually getting there, you know, because it made me, that's the first time from a gut shot, I'm actually in a sick state because I don't have any cold, no fever, no flu, no nothing, because my body having too much medication, you know, and at that point, I was like, what the hell is going on with me? You know, because it's like I couldn't
Yeah,
walk
because
again.
I mean, for them to be telling you that your brain, you know, you said that you don't understand what they mean, and rightly so, because your brain is shutting down and then you have to train your brain on your own. It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, hearing all of what you're saying, you know, you seem to have a lot of positive energy. So where does all of that come from? Where does your positive energy come from that pushes you to continue?
I guess that based on the fact that I have a strong support system around me, and I believe in myself at the end of the day, you know, and I strive for motivation, you know, I strive on motivating people because I believe that the more I motivate people is the more I motivate myself, you know, and so I keep that in mind. And I won't say that I am always positive, like 100% of the time, because sometimes frustration comes and me I'll cost myself, you know, and thing. But one thing I don't try to do is don't try to have any regret. I don't try to regret anything. I regret the night as much as it affected me. I try not to regret the night, you know.
Try not to regret the night that you got shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the thing about it, you know, is that one thing that in my mental space was the fact that in hospital, when I was in hospital, in my hospital bed, I forgave the guys that shot me. You see, I forgive them.
You know, that's a question that I actually have for you, where I'm saying that, do you believe that a part of your healing was forgiving those who did whatever they did?
I forgive the guys that shot me from in
No,
hospital.
sir, you're a better human being than me, Aliou. I can't say that right off the bat. Like, oh my God, like, it's not an easy thing to do. It's
No.
not easy.
But you say one
Hats
thing,
off to you, brother. But not on the live. Hats off to you.
I forgive them and I just keep on going. Because one thing I did, I invested in prayer. Because even during hospital, one thing that stuck with me was Yolanda Adams' song "This Too Shall Pass," and the fact that I kept on praying for practically better, you know, to get out of that situation. Because I didn't want to spend my birthday in hospital, you know, and I worked my hardest with there because I wasn't eating. They couldn't give me any food because of my chest and thing, because everything got on.
Right, right.
Yes, so I was on just the drip alone for one whole week. Then they started giving me soup, broth,
Fluids and stuff, yeah.
and things. So, and I spent Christmas 2013 in the hospital, and my family came there and made me feel like say me the home, because they come with the
Nice.
come with the
That's nice. That's nice.
And they set up an area around the back there in the Spanish hospital. And I mean, like, that was a moment for me, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
so, do you have anything to tell the people who are in a similar position, or maybe even worse? What do you have to tell these people?
I would tell them not to give up, just continue to press on and think, because at the end of the day, what you're giving up to, what you're giving up for, you know?
Yeah.
The pain might be there, but you can just continue to strive and rise through the pain, you know, because I try to rise through my pain. I'm in pain 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And I try to adapt to that and just be my best self, you know, and just go through, because at the end of the day, you just can just vision a silver lining at the end, you know, and just hope that better will come. Because that's something that I keep holding on to. The fact that greatness is in me, and I wake up every morning and say, another day to be great, you know, because I know that, yeah, I structure my
Lord
mind.
Jesus, Aliou, you make me feel like some is a bum right now. You make me feel like some just a walk a complain about all of my problem there. Mom, make you box me on my face today. Because I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, as human beings, we get up and we complain about every single thing we walk with two and we are complaining. And I mean, today you are reminding us that, listen, we don't even have nothing to complain about, really. If we just stop and think about the other situations that persons are in, we wouldn't even complain about some things we are complaining about. So thank you so much today for reminding me that I have no problems.
You know, what I want you to do for me quickly, Aliou, is just tell us of your achievements, because you mentioned studying while you were in the hospital. You know, tell our viewers of your achievements.
All right. I graduated from University of Technology with my Bachelor in Business Administration in Human Resource Management and also in Administrative Information Systems Management. And I also have a certification in HR Issues and Analysis. I practically, since then, I've also kept the delegate for Kingston. I'm still the Kingston delegate under the Governor General and the Custos of Kingston. Under the Custos of Kingston. In 2019, I got the award from the University of Technology for service to the university. Outstanding alumni for service to the university. I also got the opportunity to be a motivational speaker to the Jamaica Talawas cricket team that was live streamed to all the cricketers across that was in the 2020 tournament there. And I mean, like, yo.
Proud you. Proud you. Good job.
I still went on. I mentor students. I have students that I teach POB, accounts, economics, and MOB. And funny enough, they passed them with ones in CXC and Cape. So I mean, like, that's great. And I also mentor a student at UTech, and he did great in his examination during the time that I mentored him. So I mean, like, yeah, I'm livid.
Do you believe that some of these achievements are the things that actually push you, the things that are behind you that say, listen, I have too much greatness in me, so I can't stop?
Well, sometimes, and it's funny enough, I still don't feel accomplished. You know, because I'm not walking.
Look at you.
I'm not
through yet. There's a lot more to do.
I'm not because I still have things in the pipeline for me to do that. Because I like giving. I give back to the Bull Bay, to the Bull people in Bull Bay after that thing that they had down there where their flood water and everything. I give back to them with my workplace. I give back to the Bull Bay thing. I give back to UTech disability department, and I also give back to all of residents and things. So I mean, like, and plus I give to persons who is in need of walker, crutch, and things like that. I give back to those persons and things, and I reach out to where I even have 2 students that was on the road.
So you basically have a charity foundation going.
Yeah, I have a charity foundation, but it kind of paused right now because of work and everything. And with COVID-19 and things, but I still have things in the pipeline that I want to do. And but it's all about timing. And
I have one last question for you, Aliou. Because I know me bust your brain right now. But tell me something. With the frequent gun violence that is happening in our country today, in and around us, everywhere, every day you hear it on the news, are you fearful any at all because of what happened to you? Do you relive anything when you hear gunshot, or if you hear about anybody, any shooting incidents? Do you relive it?
Yes, because whenever I hear a gunshot or any heavy sound, it kind of let my heart beat fast, very fast, and my body just become nervous right after. So even a car will pass, I hear boom in the car, and it's like say,
oh, the little thing where them put on the vehicle these days.
Yeah, and it's like my body just go back in a trance state. you know,
A state of shock. Yeah.
that practically trigger back the post-traumatic stress disorder that I have along with it and things. So I mean, like with all of that, I believe that too much going down the road, and these little boys, because they don't want to work and they don't want to do certain things, they tend to go into areas where that is concerned. But I'm like, it don't worth it, you
No,
know,
it's
because
not.
all of this contract killing and everything that I see going on, and I'm like, sometimes I have to wonder, you know, because I'm saying that if I can go to school, go to university and still want to reach further, still want to even go back to school right now and to
With all
further,
the challenges that you have.
right, you know, and if they can do the same too, you see,
They
if
can.
I seek out employment and I'm employed, although I'm not working as what I want to work as or where I want to work, but I'm still being employed and I'm grateful for that and thing. But same way they can go out and search from. I believe that if I was walking, my life would be so far ahead. It's so funny, you know, because the restrictions of me not walking, and people look at me as a liability instead of an asset. Although I consider myself as an asset, I couldn't hear what them think, but you know. But I believe that with that now, them just have to just try to find other ways and things. And as much as people say where Jamaica is concerned, education really much matter and thing because links to things at the end of the day. Because many people, you know, who have bottom of the barrel education level and compared to where me have, and yet them are working a top position and me, they're doing yourself.
We see it every day.
And that's why other links to things the environment here in Jamaica, you know.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay for us to give up. Basically, that's what you're saying to them. Listen, there is something that you can do out there. If it even means that you're going to create your own thing, something out there to do better than you know taking up the gun.
Yeah, something is there for you to do because there are many jobs out there, but it's just for persons to go after it and try to get it. You get me?
Yeah. You are a walking inspiration, Aliou. Trust me. It's really a pleasure to be talking to you. And I'm really glad that you survived that trauma. Really, really glad you survived. And boy, you take it with a grain of salt. Because may I tell you
So
today,
more like a pound.
because may I tell you today, say, Aliou, I don't think I would be able to do the things that you are doing. And I'm not even discounting my strength or whatever. It's just knowing who I am and know that, listen, when trouble take me sometime, listen, I just want to drop everything and run, go up in the hills, go hide. You understand? So listen, man, it's really a pleasure talking to you. And I'm sure for Taki too, it's really a pleasure talking to you today.
Yeah, man, definitely. He is an inspiration. And what I want to say to him is to just keep doing it. Keep allowing us to hear great things coming from you because as you rightly said about yourself, there is greatness in you. And so continue to inspire us because right now, as Nahesha is saying, you know, yeah, she get dropped. We are get dropped for us to know that, yes, there is so much more that we can do regardless of whatever challenge that we face. Because look at you.
Yeah.
Get drop and get drip. I'm back.
And it's not sometimes, you know, it's not the fall, you know. Sometimes, you know, it's just the rise after the fall. You see?
Yes.
Because I look at it, I drop so much time, but each time I drop, I get up back and just keep on going. You know?
Amazing.
Because at work, I drop so much time and I just still keep on moving, you know, because sometimes when I put them beside, so they are not going to move, I still try to jump if I can. If I can't step a jump and move the walker, because I still have to reach where I want to reach, you know, and I don't work on the ground. I don't work on the ground floor. I work upstairs, you know, and that's a restriction for many Jamaicans. The restriction for many Jamaicans is that they do not pay attention to disability persons because many of these buildings are not customized for disability people.
So true.
You know, because I have to I went to some places, even government places, and I have to go down and go upstairs, and I mean, like, that struggle to walk up the step. It's easy
Yeah,
to
we have
come
a
down.
lot of work to do to change that in this country, for real. Because when you go in overseas, in other countries, you see where they provide for people with disability with all the ramps and the different things. So we have a lot of work to do where that is concerned.
Yeah, that's why I have the hats off to UTech for what they did for me while I was there. They getting the
That's off,
ramps and
yeah.
everything.
Big
You
up
know,
yourself, you take. Aliou, my wish for you is so many more greatness. I wish you become everything that you inspire to be. I wish that everything that me no know get left in the past when I get to do yet come true in the future. I wish to see you speaking to people and I motivate people and I continue to do everything we want to do. I wish for so many more for you.
Yes.
Thanks much.
And thank you so much for speaking with us. And of course, I'm looking forward to hearing so many great things from you. So many. Nice being interviewed.
Yeah. Trust me, it's nice being interviewed. Better than this one is better than the Observer. This one is better than the Observer one.
Oh, you had an Observer?
After I got shot, the media team take over my life.
What you say?
Just after I got the degree, when I got the degree, just after I collect the degree at the graduation,
yes,
I was bombarded.
Because I mean that must have been inspirational for you to be going through all of that and still be getting all of 2 degrees. Like, look at you.
That must be the cat with 9 life. I don't know. Yeah. Pick up yourself though, Aliou.
Man.
All right then.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're seeing here, we've just spoken to Aliou Graham, a great inspiration. Join him on Instagram. I mean, follow him if you want to follow his inspirational quotes, his motivational quotes. He's there at preziali._HR. So me put at the bottom of the screen because I put it there for you to go and follow him. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you so much for listening. We will see you in our next episode.